We are breaking updates coming in. The Prime Minister has spoken of deepfake, saying it's a cause of great concern. Therefore, watermarking or clear declaration should be made on AI-generated content. The Prime Minister saying in the last century we saw competition for energy. In this century, we will have to cooperate for technology. The Prime Minister's message at the G7 outreach session in Canada. The Prime Minister has flagged the deepfake threat at the G7, saying the AI content needs to be watermarked, that there should be technology cooperation because that is going to be key in this century as deepfakes are a global concern. The Prime Minister has also urged AI transparency at the G7, saying there should be safe and ethical use of AI. There have been some concerns around AI, and the world leaders also spoke about it. The Prime Minister also spoke about deepfake, saying this is a cause of great concern. Dr. Michael continues to stay live with us. And Dr. Michael, this is a concern that several global leaders have spoken about as well. AI can be of great help, while there are on one hand concerns over what happens to the jobs, the concerns being addressed by even the US Vice President very recently as well. The Prime Minister has also spoken about it time and again. But deepfake has been a cause of great concern. The Prime Minister has spoken about it and called for the use of the ethical use of AI.
Yeah, that continues to be a big concern, and even in my field, where I look at the Global Center for Cyber Policy, we're continuing to look at deepfakes amongst other cybersecurity threats and how they continue to, quite frankly, just wreak havoc on many countries now that it becomes more prevalent in many different aspects and impacting all industries. And all job types. So I think, the challenges we have to do is looking at, as Prime Minister Modi said, watermarks or disclaimers, and even just to look at digital or ethical AI as needing international standards. I think there's the challenge we see now is that, almost at the point where you can't believe what you see or what you hear anymore online because of the complexity and the maturity of these deep fakes and others. So I know that Prime Minister Modi has been on the forefront of this and talking about how we continue to move forward to ensure that the global aspect is safe, inclusive, and also trustworthy. I do believe, however, that the ability to democratize AI and continue to have conversations about the ethical future of it, where many countries around the world have already looked and seen how can we continue to promote an open source system that continues to promote the safety and transparency of it all. I think is very important. Again, having a standardized set of rules and norms is what's really going to make the difference here. As it relates to reskilling people and the technology, that is something we've seen time and time again. We've seen that through every iteration that we've had throughout this country or throughout the world. We've had a new leap in technology. There has been a skill set that's taken on that's been new, and also jobs that's been left on from behind. So I think as we start to look at this AI-driven future, there are going to be new jobs that are going to be created and new opportunities for everyone to be able to take advantage of.
Okay, all right. Stay with us, Ambassador Ashok Sajjanar. I want to quickly also ask you about in the G7 summit, where we touched upon not just the India-Canada relations, but also the cybersecurity, the AI, the discussions that have taken place on climate change as well. But very quickly, I also want to bring you in on what is happening between Iran as well as Israel. No doubt that was also on the top of the agenda for the world leaders as they spoke. In fact, President Donald Trump also had to cut short the G7 summit and return to the United States. How do you see that proceeding?
It is at a very dangerous stage that it is perched at the moment, Pratibha, because we see that the whole thing started on Friday. It's about 5 days or so that has been going. And every day there has been escalation. First when Israel said that, it had control of the skies, it was thought that Israel would just be able to pulverize everything that came in its sight, and Iran would have no response, because actually that was the reason why Israel decided to go in to attack Iran at this time, because it thought that all its proxies, whether it is the Hezbollah, whether it is the Hamas, whether it is in Syria or in Iraq, and to a very significant extent, the Houthis, all of them had been, severely, brought down in terms of their effectiveness and power. So Iran was at its weakest stage, and Israel could go in and do whatever it wanted. In the initial 1 or 2 days, that is what appeared. But Iran has been now hitting back, and as you've seen, it launched this Operation Something Phase 3.
Yes.
And it has been, there have been images in Haifa, there have been images in Tel Aviv where multi-story buildings have been attacked, and they have been destroyed. So, it's coming at a very difficult stage. And for the American, for the United States also to get involved, I think that spells much greater uncertainty.
Okay, a lot more uncertainty that can be expected. Very clear indications coming in from the many social media posts of President Trump as well, where he has said Iran should have just made the deal. We'll have to leave it at that. Ambassador Ashok Sajjanhar, Dr. Michael Owens, thank you for joining us with your expertise on the matter. Quick break now. We'll be right back.